Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are looking at the round 3 US Open between Jessica Pegula and Victoria Azarenka. I think the US Open has been going really well so far. I do feel like a lot of players that generally don't struggle have been, I feel like, struggling a bit during their matches. I would like to talk a bit about some of the controversies that have been going on in the tournament lately, and I'd love to know your guys' opinion on it. For example, the whole Medvedev um, conflict that happened during the match, and if you're unaware of what happened, Medvedev's opponent had hit a first serve, and a cameraman had accidentally walked onto the court. So the umpire granted Medvedev's opponent another first serve because he had considered that the fact that the cameraman had walked into the court a disturbance, and Medvedev absolutely freaked out about it, and he caused a 6-minute delay as he was booing the umpire with the crowd. Honestly, I think it was funny to watch. I do think it was very unprofessional, though. I don't think I don't think him booing the umpire was going to change the call, and he was just wasting time. I think any other player maybe would have argued it for 1 minute, 30 seconds to 1 minute, and then had gone back to the baseline to continue the match, because standing there booing him for 6 minutes isn't going to make him change the call. If anything, it would get you a time violation. I'm honestly surprised that he didn't face any. I'm not aware, actually, if he faced any penalties during the match because of that, but I definitely think he should have. I think it was very unprofessional, and I'm not sure or not, but I think he got fined like 43,000. I don't know. You'd have to check. And then the second controversy was the Ostapenko versus Townsend. Ostapenko called her classless and uneducated. I get that Ostapenko is probably emotional, as everybody is when they lose. I definitely don't think that that was something that should have been said at all, because you saying that shows more that you have no class when you're saying that your opponent doesn't have any class. I can understand that maybe what Towson did during the match. One thing was she came in for volleys right at the beginning of the warm-up, and she had clipped the net during a point and didn't say sorry, and I guess that bothered Ostapenko. But I do feel like Ostapenko's kind of finding reasons, other things to blame for why she lost the match, because as a tennis player, one thing, as not even just a tennis player, but as a professional tennis player, one thing you're supposed to be really good at is your ability to forget. And the fact that she had held on to that for the whole match shows that maybe, she's not as good mentally and is not as a high level mentally as her ranking says. I personally think that she was just finding excuses on why she lost the match. But please let me know what you think in the comments. I know these videos are supposed to be more of, what's going on in the match, but I thought this would be something worth talking about for a few minutes. So, yeah, please comment down below. Let me know your guys' opinions and whose side you're on for these two conflicts that we just talked about. Jessica Pegula was really dominating in the first set, as you can see by the score. Um, I think something that really came through in the second set for Azarenka was her fighting spirit. I think she fought really hard to try to give herself a chance in the second set. And I also feel like because of that, she brought her level up, and I feel like maybe until later in the match, Pegula's level, they were at about the same, and I think Pegula near the end of the match maybe lifted hers just a bit to allow her to get the win. The second set was 7-5, so it's very close. But I think Azarenka's fighting spirit is what really came through for her, which is something that she's known for and has gotten her through a lot of difficult matches. I think that was a smart play by Pegula, um, setting up herself to come in. I think Azarenka's just ready for it. I think she read well in that point. Really great serves. Something I will say is, I think something that's really important in tennis is your footwork. I feel like that can make such a huge difference. And like players like on the men's side, like Sinner, I think out of all the players on the tour right now, he has the best movement. And I think that's something that really helps him during his matches. That's something that separates him from the Zverevs and players like Fritz or Tsitsipas, who sadly hasn't been playing very well lately, but like the bigger like top 10 players, that's what separates him and Alcaraz from the rest of the bunch is footwork. And I think that players, that's definitely something to focus on more. And I think for Pegula, I'd say she moves pretty well, and I think one of her strong suits is her mind. She's very calm, very collected player, and I think she makes really. I feel like she makes good decisions when she's playing. For the most part, and because she doesn't have, I feel like she doesn't have anything in particular that in her game that people try to avoid. I think that's something that plays a big part in that has played a big part in her success as a player is her ability to construct points. I think that should have been a cross court shot from Azarenka there. Azarenka's serve has been, I think, played also a big part in this and giving her a chance in the second set. And you can see both players are doing a great job of seeing their opportunities and stepping in. And as you saw there from Pegula, stepping back if you need to, just because you stepped in to the court doesn't necessarily mean you have to hit an approach shot or go to the net. You can you can step back to the baseline if you feel like you didn't hit a good enough shot that would allow you to come in. I like that shot from Pegula there. Definitely very much unexpected, as you can see by Azarenka's reaction. That's not usually a place where you try to hit a drop shot. I think that was um, I think that was a good play from Pegula there. Risky but good. I do think from the points that are being shown that Azarenka is winning. Pegula's balls are landing too short, as you can see from here. I get that Azarenka's serving really well, but even with, I think maybe she's not hitting drop shots at the right time, and her balls are just landing too short because Azarenka's constantly, I feel like she's constantly stepping into the court. It's a great shot from Pegula there. Great consistency and staying in the point, not hitting angles too early. I would say that's another point I'd like. Another thing I'd like to point out is consistency while playing. I think also that's a huge um, part of that. A huge thing that should be part of your game. Consistency. That's very important, and that's something that Pegula is really good at. And I think consistency goes with footwork as well. Because obviously, if you're not moving well, you're not going to be able to put your body in the right position to get the shots that you want and maybe hit the right shots, but your body most of the time needs to be in a certain position to get the best and most balanced shot. So that's another reason why I think footwork is very important. But I think we're coming to an end here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please again comment down below and let me know not only what other matches you'd like me to look over, but what you think about all of the different things that have been going on in the US Open, and whose sides you guys are on. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day.